Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods, Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. When you say something is like riding a bike, it usually is because getting back into it comes naturally once you start to get your rhythm. Now, competing is not one of those things that you usually associate with getting back into easily. But Adela Garcia has always been somewhat of an exception to the rule. After a 7-year layoff, Adela is less than a month away from getting back up on an Olympia stage to compete against a group of athletes who are almost all completely different from back when she was at her peak of her powers. In some sense, this is like a whole new world of fitness. But if there's anyone who could make the competing in the Olympia feel like it was riding a bike, wouldn't it be Adela? One of my favorite things in sports is to watch great athletes react to the performances of other great athletes when they're in their zone. And if you're a person who likes to read the comments, do yourself a favor and check out some of the reactions of other athletes under the videos on Akim Williams' page. Last weekend, Akim released a video of himself cranking out a beltless 3-rep squat with 725 pounds. That's probably about as Ronnie Coleman-esque a lift if you're ever going to see one from an athlete who's less than a month out from the Olympia. And the reactions from some of the IFBB's best in the comments will make you think that too. He's absolutely out of control. And for once, I think we might have found something that the entire internet finally agrees on. The late Steve Jobs liked to say that being the richest man in the cemetery didn't really matter to him. Instead, he'd rather go to bed at night knowing that he did something meaningful with his day. And if that something meaningful happens to be pouring everything you've got into your Olympia prep because being 4th in the world just is not good enough, then John Jewett's probably sleeping well these days. These next few weeks will be huge for John as he tries to iron out the final details heading into the home stretch for one of the biggest shows of his career. There's been so much talk on the other moving parts in this division that John's been somewhat of a forgotten man in this sprint to the Classic Physique Olympia. But I can almost guarantee you that he isn't bothered by that at all. John shows up and goes to work every day, no questions. So I wouldn't count him out as a top 3 conversation because he's the type of guy who will not lay down at night until he's satisfied. One of my favorite segments on any TV show is the over-under on PTI. So I thought I would borrow that today to ask you this question. Would you take the over or under on 1 pro win for Calum Von Moger within the next 3 years? In case you missed it, Calum won his pro card at the NPC Team Universe 2 weeks ago, which officially puts him in the same division as the Chris Bumsteads and Brian Ansleys of the world. Pound for pound, Classic is one of the deepest divisions in bodybuilding, which means that in any given show, you can find yourself going up against a handful of Olympia caliber athletes. Winning a show in this division is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So I'll ask you guys again, over or under 1 win in the next 3 years for Calum Von Moger? Let us know down in the comments. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.